So Urban Decay has gotten themselves in a little bit of drama. They thought they were going to be entering their comeback era, but it turns out to be their problematic era. The good thing is they are finally listening to us, giving us what we want: color, glitter, fun, the old Urban Decay, but people are not happy about it. Still, if you're just as confused as I am and want to know what the heck is going on at Urban Decay, I'm gonna catch you up on all of it. So let's talk about why people, including Skindinavia, are mad at Urban Decay, their uncensored ad campaign, and all the details behind their rebrand. Okay, so there's actually a lot more to this rebrand than you might think. Back in February, Urban Decay named Anika Mahitia as their new global general manager with a post that said, "Diversity is a fact, inclusion is a choice. As a new global head of Urban Decay, and more importantly as a woman of color who exists only to lift others up, it's crucial for me that my team represents and honors the amazing diversity of our consumer base, and that we overinvest in those who haven't always had equal opportunities to others." And most recently, on July 14th, they brought on Lochi Stonehouse as their new resident global makeup artist. He has worked with a lot of celebrities, including Lured, Billie Eilish, and even Troye Sivan. The post introducing Lochi said that he was known for boundary-pushing editorial looks and anti-bland artistry that commands attention. So basically, they're not only focusing on inclusivity and boldness in their products and their rebrand, but within the company as well. They've also redesigned their logo, which is kind of shocking. It's actually already available on their website. You can see it for yourself. And starting in August, a brand new Urban Decay gondola setup will roll out in 300 Sephora stores. Now, I thought I was going crazy. This really felt like deja vu because I thought they had already updated their Sephora gondolas, but apparently they're doing it again. I did search the internet to see if that had indeed been announced, and it did. I saw this old LinkedIn post from a year ago, so maybe they're just improving it again. Who knows what that's gonna look like, but currently no details on how this is going to look and how they're gonna update it, so I don't know how much more they can improve what they've already improved, but we'll see. Maybe it'll be more intriguing and impressing to walk up to. But I think one of the more interesting updates about this rebrand is their new logo. Like many other brands that have gone through a rebrand or a new logo recently, they have also decided to oversimplify this logo. This now looks very similar to brands like Urban Outfitters, PacSun, or the California Republic logo. They all give the same vibe, which could be what Urban Decay is going for, but I feel like the differences now in the font is very small, and in my opinion didn't really need to be a change that had to be made. Like, I don't feel like this new logo is really representing what they're advertising as their new direction, but maybe I could be wrong. I'm obviously not Urban Decay and I don't work on their team, so maybe there's, purpose behind this I'm not seeing. But let me know what you think about it, because I'm not the biggest fan. On the bright side though, I did notice that their UD logo mark still exists even on some of their new products. It looks like they just updated it to lowercase letters instead of the uppercase UD, and it would make sense because I still really like the old Urban Decay logo. I feel like it's very fitting for the brand, especially if they're going to try to make a comeback for more bold, colorful, fun makeup. Now, aside from the logo, one of the other significant moves they've made is their campaign with Kytsya. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Ari is a TikToker known for the typical get ready with me's, trending dances, and posts from her life as a self-described bop, or adult film actress. She is currently the face of a new campaign from Urban Decay that calls out the so-called blandemic in beauty. I quote, "Makeup is meant to perform on stage, on camera, and on mattresses." They really went there. This was kind of a risky move on Urban Decay's part because it's controversial. Let's just put it that way. Some people commented and said, why is this being normalized? Others said, never buying Urban Decay again. But people who know Ari and are fans of Ari were very excited about this opportunity for her. Someone even gave context and commented, reminder for the hate, she actively posts about why young girls should not get immediately into SW and to live their life and explore opportunities before not being able to come back to the 9-to-5 corporate work society. She also was very open about every cosmetic surgery she's had done and what she regrets. Someone else commented, it's the baddie on the brand deal about mother freaking time. Yes, Ari. And I think Urban Decay definitely knows what they're doing because this is actually the second time they've done a campaign like this. Apparently, they have also worked with Chloe Cherry in 2023, which is pretty recent. She is another adult film star and actress. I believe she was on Euphoria. So one could say this was pretty on brand for Urban Decay. And if you thought that was all, you would be wrong because this is just the beginning, my friends. Another big change is the reformulation of Urban Decay's iconic all-nighter setting spray, which I used to love. Basically, the reason why they're reformulating is because Urban Decay officially ended their 15-year partnership with Skindinavia, who are the original formulators behind the setting spray. And the thing is, Skindinavia was very vocal about this split on Instagram. What I thought was going to be a post encouraging people to buy the setting spray from Skindinavia ended up being a post calling out Urban Decay for being quote-unquote bullies. Now for legalities, this is all alleged. I'm just resharing what is being posted online. So in Skindinavia's post, they said, we truly didn't want it to come to this. The most successful collaboration in makeup has ended after 15 years. Since 2010, Skindinavia has proudly made the all-nighter setting spray for Urban Decay. It was the first and only makeup setting spray to work by cooling the makeup, not just sealing it. The patent is owned by Skindinavia. Our partnership was built on trust, sealed with a handshake, and carried on for 15 wonderful years. Sadly, Urban Decay and its parent company, L'Oreal, have chosen to end their partnership with Skindinavia. Urban Decay's all-nighter setting spray, new formula, has changed from its original, protected by Skindinavia's US patent 9198840. The active cooling ingredients are no longer used. To promote their new version, Urban Decay has taken to social media to diminish the existing all-nighter setting spray formula, which Skindinavia will still make. This very formula has over 50,000 glowing 5-star reviews and is honored in the Allure Beauty Hall of Fame. Most small brands can't stand up to big companies, but Skindinavia will, and we hope this might inspire others to do the same when being bullied. Urban Decay's parent company, L'Oreal, made over $10 billion in 2024. Our award-winning formula is still here for you. Available through Skindinavia and our trusted partners, it has been with you through your life's special moments. It will only change if you decide it should, not us. Overall, from what I've seen, Skindinavia fans were in support of the brand statement. Someone commented, I guess I won't be recommending Urban Decay's setting spray at Sephora anymore. I've always said they had the best spray unmatched. Thank you for calling them out the way you did. Now, put it in a can and make it a fine mist. This is when you evolve and make it even better. Nobody wants a spray bottle anymore. Anyhow, let them have it and pivot. Someone else even commented, moral of the story, get the trademark and patent. And the brand actually replied to this comment. They said, to all small business people, you are correct. It's not that expensive and a must if you truly have something new. Now that's the Skindinavia side. On the Urban Decay side, they shared that they'll be launching a reformulated version with a new scent, 24-hour wear, and something they're calling temperature cooling technology. Not gonna lie, that's very shady.
And y'all, it gets even crazier because as I was editing this video, there has been another article that released by Beauty Matter. It gives us a bit more insight about what happened, at least on the Skindinavia side. It's a pretty long article, but it basically summarizes the beginning of the partnership to now. And the most significant takeaway was when Alan Goldman, the founder of Skindinavia, started to notice how Urban Decay was attempting to cut off the relationship. It started when they launched new setting sprays, including the vitamin C and watermelon variations, without Skindinavia's involvement. He explained that he would attempt to reach out, but would receive very little communication from the brand. Then there was a point in February of 2025 where a vendor called to ask him why there have been several canceled orders of raw materials, but he knew nothing about this. Then in May 2025, he confronted Urban Decay and they said they could not give him a date other than within a year. But the contract stated that he was supposed to be informed of termination 6 months in advance, as well as given an official 90-day notice. In the weeks following his initial conversation with Urban Decay, Goldman reached out again, emphasizing the urgency of clarity. Shortly after, he received formal notice. First came the 6 month termination window, then a week later, the official 90-day notice, bringing the timeline to roughly 2 weeks before the news broke publicly on social media of Urban Decay's setting spray formulation. Now, this isn't a statement from Urban Decay, but they did double down with this post, saying that people asked for this change, and the new formula is scientifically proven to cool skin by 3 degrees Fahrenheit. The post also covers that it was developed over 4 years with 20 scientists. Skindinavia then made a sarcastic comment saying, "We're new to makeup and noticed the new formula claims to be award-winning on your website. This is awesome. With it launching today, could you share which award it won?" Now, I couldn't find exactly where it said they won an award, but I think he could be referencing the claim America's #1 setting spray. In fine print on the site, it says, "In the prestige US market, circa based on all-nighter setting spray sales for the last 52 weeks, ending in April 2025. And y'all, we're in August right now. This is very strange though from a consumer standpoint, because although it's technically the same name, it's technically the same product, the formula is different. And the sales they're referencing would be based on the old formula. No? Yeah, this is wild. At this point, I'm wondering if it's actually a marketing stunt. I couldn't imagine it to be so, because I feel like a small business wouldn't be in on it like that. Yeah. What is happening?
Now, on Urban Decay's side, most of the comments on the posts do seem to be overall positive and supportive of their rebrand. I'm just guessing a lot of people don't know what's going on. While there were a few comments that were calling out the issue and associating the setting spray with Skindinavia. They said, "Is this still the original Skindinavia formula?" Urban Decay replied, "Better performance, better wear, and better packaging than before." I have no words for this. Someone else commented, "Absolutely not. Skindinavia is what made this product great. Everyone knows that. The packaging is cute, but not collaborating with Skindinavia is not. Why did you end their partnership?" I did not expect this to happen. A fight between Urban Decay and Skindinavia, or even a reformulation of the all-nighter setting spray, was not on my bingo card this year. So let me know, what do you all think? Will you be buying from Skindinavia or Urban Decay? Did you even like the all-nighter spray in the first place? Let me know in the comments below. And as of today, Urban Decay has not addressed the Skindinavia posts, and they're just going about their business as usual, not bringing attention to things. They have even sneaked peek some of their new launches. In a follow-up Instagram post from their collaboration with Ari, they wrote, "We called out the bland and we meant it. From nudes to vibrant glitter, we're ready to turn the volume up. Here's an uncensored look of what's next for Urban Decay." What they're doing right now does not make sense, because it seems very contradicting to their advertisement with Ari saying that we're in a blandemic. I don't think these new launches right now are screaming edgy or fun, but they did end up addressing it in the next slide. The next slide said, "Before we drop something new, we're upgrading a few faces."
Y'all, I am literally bugging out right now because I read it as a few faces when it's a few faves, as in favorites. Apparently, I don't know how to read because this is the third time in the video, I think, that I pronounced something wrong. So, ignore that. Our icons are being reinvented to push performance to the limit. Now that I see this side, I do understand a little bit more, but I hope that they're reformulating the matte eyeshadows as well, because I personally didn't like the matte formulas. I felt them to be too hard pressed and a little patchy to work with. I'm sure the shimmers are going to be phenomenal, like their Space Cowboy, but we'll see about the eyeshadow because I'm not a fan of their eyeshadow. Then on the next page, they wrote, "Makeup should be fun. Glitter, color, performance, artistry, keep your eyes peeled." And this page shows an image of a glitter stick that looks very familiar. I'm gonna call it out now because I do feel like this glitter stick is gonna be similar to the Juicy, the Dose of Color, or even the recent Danessa Myricks. And the craziest thing was I just saw a video from Katie Jane Hughes on her TikTok where she was applying this like shimmer stick on her eyes, trying not to leak what it is. She was very excited about it, and it had this like very sheer wash of glitter, and it looks exactly like this photo. The purple matches this photo almost perfectly. People were guessing it's Tower 28. I'm pretty sure it's Urban Decay. I'm gonna call it out now, and we'll find out in August, I guess, if that glitter stick was from Urban Decay. Now, in the Katie Jane Hughes video, it didn't seem like the Danessa Myricks kind of glitter stick. It actually seemed a lot more sheer and more balm-like, kind of like the K Beauty highlighter sticks. So we'll see. I am kind of excited and intrigued about what this is and how it performs compared to everything else. Anyways, moving on to the next page, they said, "We see the comment requests. We're hitting the archives to bring back your faves. You know the ones." And the image here looks like it's a red eyeshadow that I believe is supposed to be called Gash. I have no idea what the lore is behind this. Let me know if you do. I love getting to know a little bit of beauty history, and if you are excited about this launch, comment down below. What is it about this red eyeshadow? That is everything that's happening at Urban Decay so far. I will keep you updated if anything else comes up. I think personally, what's happening with Skindinavia has definitely turned me off from trying the new Urban Decay setting spray. I really don't feel like it's right. I used to love the old Urban Decay setting spray and use it in college before I switched to the One Size in the Charlotte Tilbury. At this point, there are so many great setting sprays. I'm not really interested in Urban Decay. I also don't believe that it was necessary for Urban Decay to allegedly copy the cooling technology of Skindinavia. I think that if they had even just marketed it as something that's reformulated and in a new mist, I feel like there's enough traction and enough association with the brand that they would still succeed and sell product and even be able to push it out on social media, no big deal. Aside from all of that, I do think that the rebrand does have me paying attention a little bit more to Urban Decay. I am interested enough to follow their new releases. Even some of their recent releases have really piqued my interest, so I see that they are moving in a new direction, and I might not agree with all of their choices, but I'm glad they're listening to the feedback, taking some feedback, and trying to improve based on the feedback. But I will say, if they continue to play it safe and oversimplify their products the way that they're oversimplifying the logo, and if they're trying to just get away with fun makeup that's still neutrals and just sparkly, that is not good enough for me. At this point, there are so many indie brands and new brands that are just doing it better, so Urban Decay has a lot to live up to. Anyways, let me know how you're feeling about all of this. Thank you all so much for the love and support, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye!